There are stories in Hollywood that inspire, stories that entertain, and stories that feel like they were written by the hands of fate itself. But once in a while there comes a story so raw, so human, and so powerful that it transcends fame, fortune, and the silver screen. It becomes a story of survival, a story of redemption, and above all, a story of hope. This is the story of Robert Downey Jr., a man whose life once spiraled into the darkest pits of addiction, loss and despair, only for him to rise from the ashes like a real-life phoenix, becoming not just a movie icon, but a symbol of transformation. The man who went from handcuffs to hero, from drugs to Iron Man. Robert Downey Jr. was born on April 4, 1965, in Manhattan, New York. He came into a world already spinning with creativity, chaos, and contradiction. His father, Robert Downey Sr., was an avant-garde filmmaker and actor known for his offbeat projects. His mother, Elsie, was an actress. But more than the bright lights of cinema, Robert's childhood was shaped by something else, something darker. A home where drugs were present, casual, even normalized. Downey Sr. was addicted to drugs, and his son's exposure to that world came far too early. Robert has admitted that his father introduced him to marijuana at just 6 years old. Imagine that, a child barely able to tie his shoes, inhaling a substance that would one day play a devastating role in his life. It wasn't malicious. It wasn't evil. In fact, Downey Sr. later said it was a way to bond with his son. A twisted way, yes, but in his drug-addled mind it made sense. It was a generational curse disguised as connection, and so began a dangerous cycle. Robert's youth was spent oscillating between acting classes and drug use, between film sets and wild nights. As a teen, he bounced from school to school, eventually dropping out to pursue acting full-time. But the seeds of destruction had already been planted. Despite the chaos, Robert was brilliant, magnetic, a prodigy on screen. He had an energy, a vulnerability, and a quick wit that made him stand out from the beginning. Hollywood noticed, directors noticed, casting agents noticed. He wasn't just another kid with famous parents, he had it, that intangible spark. His performances were raw and real, and by the mid-1980s he was climbing fast. Roles in films like Less Than Zero and Chaplin showcased his range. In fact, his portrayal of Charlie Chaplin in 1992 earned him an Academy Award nomination. He was, by all accounts, one of the most talented actors of his generation. But behind the screen he was falling apart. Drugs weren't just a part of his past. They had become his present, his reality. Cocaine, heroin, alcohol, whatever numbed the pain, whatever silenced the noise, he consumed it.